As fans, we usually only get to see the sides of superstars that the WWE allows for. We see things like charity events and outreach programs which paint these men and women in a positive light, which is great, but not all wrestlers are upstanding citizens. Here are 10 wrestlers you won't believe are criminals. At around 5 a.m. in Crescent Springs, Kentucky, police were called to a gas station after receiving complaints about two men fighting. The two men were Chris Jericho and fellow wrestler Gregory Helms, aka the Hurricane. The two were found to be involved in a public drunken brawl that night, which resulted in their arrest for public intoxication. The cops must have been fans, because the two were asked to smile for their mugshots and released after paying a measly $120 bond. Back in December of 1998 in Memphis, Tennessee, the Big Show was arrested after allegedly exposing himself to a female motel employee. The employee called the cops, who took Show downtown, but the charges were later dropped due to insufficient evidence. Yes, technically he doesn't have a criminal record, but I still think he deserves to be on this list, because come on, he probably did it. Shawn Michaels' arrest is a bit of an enigma in the sense that we know it happened, but we don't know when or for what reason. Shawn was arrested in Louisville, Kentucky, and booked at the Jefferson County Jail. However, the exact date and offense were not made public. Unfortunately, that's about all the information we have on the incident. As you can see from his mugshot, he clearly was booked, but like I said, nobody knows why. Former WWE superstar Kurt Angle also makes this list. As evident by his multiple alcohol-related arrests, Angle has a drinking problem. Kurt was arrested 4 times over the span of 6 years for various offenses. In 2007, he was taken in for a DUI in Pennsylvania, on 2 separate occasions in 2011, and finally in 2013 after being reported as driving recklessly. After the latest incident, he checked into a rehabilitation center and has been out of the headlines ever since. Jerry the King Lawler might be a good guy now, but he wasn't always squeaky clean. Back in 1993, he allegedly sexually assaulted a 15-year-old girl, but luckily for Jerry, the girl later recanted her statement, admitting that she had lied about the encounter. However, Jerry was once again arrested in 1999 at the Memphis International Airport, where he was given a ticket by an officer. Jerry proceeded to rip up the ticket, throw it in his face, and run over the officer's foot. He was indicted for reckless endangerment, though it could have been much worse. Both of the Hardy brothers have had their fair share of legal troubles, but Matt's arrests were more of a shock. While Jeff struggled with a well-documented drug problem, Matt had other issues. He was arrested in 2011 for a DUI and drug possession. Just a few days later, he was arrested in a drug raid after his girlfriend snitched. Finally, in 2014, Matt and his girlfriend Rebecca were booked for assault and battery. The two got into a fight, and as per their mugshots, they seem to have really done a number on each other. The last guy anybody would think was a criminal, William Regal, was arrested in 1997 for urinating on a flight attendant. While a part of WCW, Regal was flying from Tokyo to Detroit. He had to use the bathroom, but accidentally left the door open. When the flight attendant tapped his shoulder to get his attention, well, I think you know what happened next. Next thing he knew, William was waking up in an Alaskan jail. Regal says this was a point in his life where he was insane due to pills and in a really bad place. You just know the guy playing Doink the Clown had some real issues. Matt Osbourne was arrested on 2 occasions. The first of which was in 1998 when he was arrested for a large group of warrants on a variety of charges, such as harassment, trespassing, and vandalism. In 1999, his parole was revoked after he tested positive for cocaine. This also resulted in a suspended sentence from an old disorderly conduct charge. Unfortunately, Osbourne died from a drug overdose in 2013. The boss himself was once indicted by the US government on charges of distribution of illegal steroids and drugs. After an FBI operation busted a doctor for distributing steroids to wrestlers in 1989, the Bureau found a new target in Vince McMahon. Vince was indicted in 1993 and was charged for possession of illegal steroids and conspiracy to distribute them. This sentence could potentially have locked up Vince for over 10 years, along with a hefty fine, and things were not looking good. However, the case would fall apart after Hulk Hogan testified he took steroids without Vince's recommendation, which led to his acquittal. The Texas Rattlesnake may be a badass on screen, but I didn't expect him to be a wife beater in real life. In 2002, while he was still married to his ex-wife and former WWE diva Deborah, the two got into an altercation. The police were called and Deborah was found multiple bruises and was in a hysterical state, while Austin had fled the scene. Austin was arrested 2 months later and charged with domestic abuse, where he pled no contest and was given 80 hours of community service and probation. Years later, Deborah claimed this was a result of roid rage and that the WWE had tried to silence her. And those are 10 wrestlers you didn't know are criminals. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more wrestling content.